Hi, I'm Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel. As Attorney General, it's my role to protect and preserve the health, safety, and welfare of all our state's residents. Today, I'm upholding that responsibility by filing a lawsuit in Ingham County Circuit Court to take the first step to decommission the 66-year-old dual pipelines that run through the Straits of Mackinac in a responsible and orderly fashion. This is part of the commitment I made to the people of this state when I was elected to this office. I have consistently stated that Enbridge's pipelines in the Straits need to be shut down as soon as possible because they present an unacceptable risk to the Great Lakes, the largest fresh surface water system in the world, and to the economic well-being of our state's residents, including the 40 million residents of the Great Lakes region who depend on the health and vitality of Great Lakes water. In the 6 months since I took office, I have not learned of any new information which would alleviate my concerns. If anything, I am now more concerned than ever with the continued operation of Line 5. Now, some might ask why this action has taken so long. Well, here's why. I wanted to provide Governor Whitmer with the time she needed to attempt to reach an agreement which would get the pipelines out of the Straits on an expedited basis. She tried her best, but Enbridge walked away from negotiations and instead filed a lawsuit against the state of Michigan. Once that occurred, there was no need for further delay. The location of the dual pipelines, which carry millions of gallons of oil a day, exposed to the open water at the bottom of the Straits, combines great ecological sensitivity with exceptional vulnerability to anchor strikes, as we saw a year ago when a 12,000-pound anchor ripped through several inches thick steel cable and damaged the pipeline. We were extraordinarily lucky that we did not experience a complete rupture of Line 5, because if we did, we would be cleaning up the Great Lakes and our shorelines for the rest of our lives, and possibly the lives of our children as well. The situation with Line 5 differs from other bodies of water where pipelines exist. The currents in the Straits of Mackinac are complex, variable, and remarkably fast and strong. The continued operation of Line 5 presents an extraordinary, unreasonable threat to the public because of the very real risk of further anchor strikes, the inherent risks of pipeline operations, and the foreseeable catastrophic effects if an oil spill occurs in the Straits. So today, in addition to filing my lawsuit, I also filed a motion to dismiss Enbridge's lawsuit filed in the Court of Claims on June 6th, seeking to enforce agreements made in the last months of the Snyder administration that purported to authorize Enbridge to build a tunnel and continue operating Line 5 for another decade. This motion argues that PA 359, which would have created a new Straits Corridor Authority, is unconstitutional, and the agreements that purported to give Enbridge the right to build a tunnel and continue operating Line 5 in the Straits for an estimated 7 to 10 years it would take to build the tunnel are invalid. This is consistent with my first formal opinion as Attorney General, determining that PA 359, rammed through in a chaotic lame duck session at the end of the Snyder administration, was unconstitutional. Some of you might ask whether the governor and I agree on this issue. And in that question, let me say this. I know the governor is deeply committed to the Great Lakes and has taken extraordinary steps to preserve their safety so the future generations of Michiganders can enjoy them for years to come. She's worked to address PFAS contamination, and she's working hard to keep Asian carp from the lakes. And we both believe Line 5 cannot continue to operate in the open waters of the Straits indefinitely. We have dual responsibilities, and we are working on parallel tracks. I'm doing everything I can on the legal front, and she's doing everything she can on the administrative front. I want to remind our state's residents that this is only the beginning of the process to eliminate this grave threat to our environment and residents. My lawsuit asks the court to begin that process of a responsible and orderly shutdown of Line 5 that gives potentially affected parties fair notice and a reasonable opportunity to make any necessary adjustments. To that end, the Governor has established a task force to ensure the energy needs of our UP residents are met in an affordable and reliable way. And we will be in contact with her task force continually as we move forward. Again, the health, safety, and security of our residents is our top priority. Now, this debate over Line 5 has been going on for over 5 years. Real-world events have demonstrated that we can't wait another 5 to 10 years for Enbridge to build a tunnel. We cannot prevent accidental or emergency anchor deployments in one of the busiest shipping channels in the Great Lakes, and it only takes one such incident to cause an environmental and economic catastrophe which will be devastating to the state of Michigan. I don't think I have to remind our residents of Enbridge's record as a Canadian company that pumps oil from northern Canada through Michigan to refineries in Sarnia, Ontario, using our state as a shortcut. And the oil spill in Kalamazoo that cost more than $700 million and left permanent damage to the affected areas. These are risks our state simply cannot afford to take.